ACEs are adverse childhood experiences, and this is going to be any kind of trauma that a person experiences before the age of 18. Some examples could be having parents go through a divorce, or addiction, or witnessing violence, or some kind of loss like death. So basically, it's terrible things that you can't control when you are young. But the thing that it gives us is a way to talk about our life story in a way that gives us a shared language, in a way to open the door to compassion and empathy and healing. So when we're looking at thousands of people, what we see is an increase in chronic diseases like heart disease and diabetes. We see increases in mental health problems like depression, suicide attempts, anxiety, and we see more relationship issues like problems staying in healthy, strong marriages, more problems with employers. Sometimes you see more problems with people staying in their homes. So those are a couple of examples of some of the outcomes we see when we look at a large group of people. But the thing I want to say about adverse childhood experiences is that the data also shows is that when a person is surrounded by support and people who are building resilience and giving them hope, they're more likely to not have those outcomes. And I want to say that people recover from trauma all the time, and we can be a part of making that happen. The workshop is available at bewellva.com. It is completely free. There is a calendar page and you just sign up. It is on October 20th at 10 o'clock. And after you take the class, you will get access to a lot more resources so you can keep learning. So since taking this class and continuing to learn about trauma and the way brains develop, the thing that I'm always asking myself is, what am I passing on to my children? What are they learning from me? I grew up in a household where people were kind to me and people paid attention to me and they looked out for me, and I felt safe. And I thought everybody's childhood was like that. I didn't realize how many people around me were recovering from trauma or still traumatized from their past. I had no idea. And so now when I'm with my own children, the thing that I keep in my mind is the idea of connection. We look for ways to build our habits and our routines around finding connection, and what that looks like is we get up in the morning and we tell each other good morning, and I'm so excited to see them, and I want them to know that I love living with them and I love them being in my life. And my son even said to me the other day, "Mama, if you didn't have any kids, your life would be so boring." And I was like, "You're right. I love my babies, and I want them to feel that, and I want them to pass that on to other people, because I know that to be one of the things that keeps us healthy, is to feel loved and connected. And that is how my parenting has been impacted by the class. So when you take this class, a few of the things that you learn about, you're going to learn more about what is trauma, how does it impact a growing brain, how do brains develop when they're not being traumatized, and you're going to learn some strategies to help yourself be regulated when you are stressed out. How do we support other people when they've gone through trauma, and what do communities do that support each other? And I think these are important skills because we're not naturally taught how to look for the things that are working well in our lives. And when you can recognize that a community is doing something that is boosting people up and making people stronger, you can replicate it. If you can replicate it, you can scale it. If you can scale it, you can reduce the impact of trauma on massive numbers of people. And that is what I like about this class. We meet people all the time that have had terrible things happen to them, and they are so strong. That's why I got into this field, is because I was really curious about it. I kept meeting people that had really miserable things happen to them when they were children, and I kept wondering why they could do that, because I just thought it was like a superpower. And it isn't. We are wired so that we can heal. The outcomes that you want from your relationships are easier when you understand how stress and trauma and resilience can work together.